So, again, another vlog from Portugal and another day of scouting. So I'm here at a bit of a secluded beach, which name I can't really remember, so I don't even try to tell you how it's called. It's just, if you're ever in the Lisbon area and want to explore the coast, just take some hikes between Cabo da Roca and I'm not sure how the other cabo is called, but just along the coast there are some trails. Just take a walk and yeah, there will not be any people and you'll find many beautiful little coves which you can climb down to. One of those is this here with the huge rocks you see behind me, also in this direction, so it's quite spectacular. And yeah, currently again thinking about returning maybe for sunset, so I haven't even been to Maguito. Already scouting the next place with potential for sunset, but that's always good. You just need to do a lot of scouting so you have really a selection of places you can return to. For example, some places might require very low tide, some places like this one you could also deal with a higher tide, so you're flexible and can react to the conditions. Same as with the other video, the last video, I also want to talk to you a bit through how I do the scouting and yeah, what I'm thinking about potential compositions, because here it's also a bit similar. You have to balance. For example, you have this magnificent rock here, which is kind of the main feature of that beach here, or that cove. But if I have it here on the left side of the frame, there's also the cliffs behind. So there's a lot of black mass or dark mass, even if it's lit up for sunset. And there's not much to balance it. Only if I do a panoramic shot, but then this feature, this rock is very straight, so it's not such a nice balance. So what I'm doing now, I'm walking around or along this cove and yeah, trying to find some rocks, some features to balance this main rock in the background and see if I can find some horizontal or vertical composition where I can make this work. Also, sun's down in this direction, so I won't get direct sun, which would also be a possibility to balance it. So basically putting the sun into one side of the frame and then having the rocks on the other side. This also works, but it won't work here at this time of the year. Sun is much too far north still. So yeah, I have to find some rocks to do the balancing. And yeah, we're gonna look at some of the photos I take with my cell phone now and just talk a bit through the potential that this location has. So same as with the first video from Portugal, I also want to share the scouting results. So I was at this beautiful beach, as I showed you in the field. And again, I went around with my cell phone. And here I want to show again the problem that will present itself when I return, or if I return. So here on the left side, this rock here, that's the main feature of that beach, and it's really beautiful how it's shutting out of the sea. And here behind it we have this cliff, which is making this side, if you think of some scales, very heavy. Versus here on the right side I could just find those lower rocks. So similar to the Maguito example which I showed in the first video, if I have a lot of stuff going on in the sky on this side, I could make this composition work because the sun will be out in this direction, so I will have some beautiful light, hopefully, on this side of this rock and also on the cliff, so it will not be as dark as it is in this image. But I have to be prepared for other conditions. For example, if the clouds are more here also in the middle and maybe not so much on this side, I would have a problem. So here's another example where I moved a bit closer, and here it's even more difficult to balance the shot because this is just a very black mass. So I'd rather prefer the view where I'm a little farther away from that rock. But then I went on a little to the right, so the view transforms. So this rock here, this main feature, kind of blends in a bit with the cliff behind, so it's not as prominent anymore. And I'm not sure if I like it, but I still have this part of the rock which looks kind of nice, especially if I'll have some of those birds sticking around for sunset. What works here is I have some rocks also on the right side, which could balance this area here. I would have light coming in from this side, so basically lighting up those rocks, and then yeah, I have to check again how those will look. Those could be too dark, so it will be a bit difficult to balance everything. So here with all those test shots, I kind of have an idea what I need, and I have another one, this one here, so where I went a little farther away. And I think this could be the most balanced one, with the light coming from this side, so light on those cliffs here, maybe some light on those here in the background, so a balance in terms of light. But really, this is as far as the scouting can go, and in the end I just have to decide to go there, to give it a try, and it might not work at all, but at least I have a rough idea. And yeah, now it's time to prepare for another sunset, which, if I'm looking out of our Airbnb, will be without any clouds, so I'm not yet sure what to do. Certainly is nothing for this beach, but maybe I find something else. And I'll be here a few more days, and currently I'm mostly gathering options. So tomorrow will be another scouting trip, find some other areas, and then we'll see where I end up if the light's right. Another evening here in Portugal, and what you see behind me, maybe you recognize from the first vlog, that's Maguito Beach. And yeah, I told in that vlog that I wanted to come here during low tide for sunset. So today it's not really low tide, so the tide's already rushing in, but that's fine because I want to take some photos from up here with a long lens. Because as you can see, there are no clouds anyway, and as I explained in the first vlog, I need some clouds, something to balance the cliffs on the left side if I want to go down to the beach, use the wide angle lens. And yeah, with a long lens I can zoom in, and I think I can make it work without any clouds. So that's always an option. If there's nothing going on in the sky, just zoom into some interesting features of landscape, which is those cliffs here, and also we have some rocks there in the background with the water rushing around. So that looks quite nice, and I think I can make it work with a long lens. Also, when I wait till blue hour, back there in the haze, there's the Cabo da Roca lighthouse, and that's a really bright lighthouse, and I hope when it lights up during blue hour it will illuminate the haze and all that spray in the background. So hopefully this looks nice. And yeah, also the car's just like 10 meters that way, so it's not always that it's that easy to get to a spot, but yeah, from time to time it's quite nice. Also, I can just sit here, enjoy the evening, and yeah, snap a few photos, and hopefully I'll have something to show you soon. So since it will soon be too dark to film with a GoPro, I want to give you one quick tip when you're shooting with a long lens. What I've done here, I think I showed this already on my Budapest vlog. If you want to take long exposures at such a viewpoint where there's wind, if you have your camera mounted on the tripod quite high, it will always shake a bit. And what I've done here, and that's also why I like tripods with a center column, I moved it very low and I used the center column as an additional leg. So it's really all the three legs here and the center column hitting concrete here. And this way, this is solid as stone. It's like if I had the camera directly here on this ledge. And this way I can take long exposures 10-20 seconds later on without shake. And if I went up with a tripod, even if you hang something on the tripod to weigh it down, even if you have a very strong tripod, you'll always have those micro shakes when the wind gusts come in. So yeah, that's just a little tip. And now I hope to get a photo, because the light's already on there, but it's not yet dark enough, so I need to wait till really blue hour, otherwise you won't catch much of the light. But yeah, hopefully it works out. In the end, the blue hour shot didn't turn out as I hoped it would, but I'll now show you a photo I took before sunset, and here there's much more atmosphere. And yeah, with such photos, it's really all about atmosphere. So another day here in Portugal, and we did another hike along the coast and found this beautiful viewpoint here. So beneath down there is one of my favorite beaches here. It's Praia da Draga, which I've photographed many times. So it's a place to go on low tide, which currently it isn't. You see there's a lot of water around those rocks, and what you really want here is to explore down into that direction to have those rocks in the frame. But yeah, even now it's spectacular, and this evening there will be low tide, so it's an option to come here. But yeah, even if not, the view from here, it's beautiful. So if you look back there, that's Cabo da Roca lighthouse, which I tried to photograph yesterday. And I think here this might make for an even better photo because you have all those layers. So I already took a photo now with the haze, which I think also looks very nice. So it's noon now, normally not good light for photography, but with a long lens, with such a scenery, it might work out. So I'll show you the photo now, and maybe in the coming days I return here for maybe sunrise, sunset, I don't yet know, but I think I definitely have to get back here. So I think it's also important to show the days where it doesn't work out with the photo. This morning it's such a day, so behind me you see the lighthouse and the cliffs, which you might know from the scouting part of the video. And yeah, this morning I won't take a photo. The reason for that is there's no atmosphere there. So if you saw, or if I now show you the video, or not the video, the photo which I took at noon, you see there's a lot of moisture in the air, a lot of atmosphere, and this creates a nice depth and separation between the cliffs, which we don't have this morning. So it's just a black mass with a lighthouse sitting on top of it, and yeah, that's really not a photo. So yeah, I came here, did the hike, don't take a photo, and this actually happens quite a lot. It's also important to have those days where it doesn't work out, because this way I appreciate the days when it works out much more. And yeah, yesterday evening actually was such an occasion. So I was down at the beach and yeah, was taking photos of the huge rocks there. And I think I got one photo which I now want to show you with a little clip. And yeah, it might not have worked out this morning, but yeah, yesterday evening it worked out, and I'm also 4 more days in this area, so maybe I find something else. So we'll see.